We're going to the Seacoast Science Center, and this is such a beautiful place. I took Margaret here when she was just a little girl, and you know, I think she doesn't remember it, but I think that it's so important that you take your kids really special places even when they're little. Kids need to know in their heart that they are loved. I talked to someone who adopted a child. Yep. Nope. And they said that, you know, it was really hard because they bullied the good kids. So that the other kids who came in were the bad kids, and they bullied the good kids. And the thing is every time a child gets told they're good, or gets something special, or gets a gift that says to their heart, I am good, and then they are not bullies. So this is really cool. So you can scan the QR code and begin your self-guided tour. This is a habitat hunt. How many habitats can you find? Explore the rocky shore, colors and shapes of nature, history hunt, lighthouse lookout, animal tracks.
It smells kind of weird in here.
It's the roses, maybe. There's like a lot of places for sea animals to live, and that's why the Science Center is here. So we're gonna look for some. Side of it? Yeah, that's where the snail is. And so you can find all of these shells. This shell doesn't have.
I moved it.
This shell doesn't have anything, so this snail left already. You can take that shell. The snail left. That one has a snail in it. These all are empty. Lots of shells. Lots of nice shells. Look at all these shells. And then we got, this is empty too. Look at this one, that's cool. Got.
Well, by the end of this, I realized I didn't see any other sizes of snail shells, so it couldn't be that they leave them when they get too big. So this is what it is. They die when they lose their shell.
There's a ton of cool seaweed here. Oh. There are a lot of snails here. Our goal is to find something other than a snail. There should be some clams and stuff. Take off your shoes before you come. I saw there's a shell over here. I just slipped, so I'm gonna have to take off my shoes. So I learned that from the dad of
Roald Dahl from this book, Boy, Tales of Childhood. It's a really good book.
He said that what his parents did to make them really creative was just give them a really good tour of the world where they saw everything beautiful. And so I think that it just stimulates being exposed at an early age. It stimulates your understanding of what could be, and your also appreciation for what is beautiful. And when you think about creating things, you know, that is creating beauty for the world. And so you might go to a garden and you see how beautiful that garden is, and you know that hands had to create that garden. Like someone had to decide what that garden looked like, even the world. Like, someone had to create this beautiful beach, and that was God. And he had to decide, he decided a lot of what is in the world. And so, you know, your hands, it's necessary to have a designer in order to have something beautiful. And so when you expose your kid to all of that beauty, they want to be a part of that. They want to create beautiful things. And so take your kid to quality places even when they're not old enough to remember. And don't say, hey, do you remember this expensive trip? Because you know what? The subconscious is really super sensitive. And even if that kid goes to a place when they are 1 year old and they never remember it, that subconscious holds on to the fact that they did that and they feel valuable. And feeling valuable is the most important thing that you can give a kid. So build experiences, take them to beautiful places, and never stop pouring into your kids. And then you will have something valuable to offer the world. And I think as a parent, if you can do that, then all of the time that you spent is well spent. And, you know, it's also a pleasure to give your kid that kind of love. And my parents did that for me. And they did bring me to a lot of beautiful places. And I experienced beauty even though we didn't have a whole lot of money, because we lived in a beautiful place. I knew what beautiful was. And I also got to go to Europe. And I think that that's really important. I didn't have as much experience as I think that you should, and I have given my daughter a lot more. And it's difficult to get them sometimes to go places that aren't super fun, but you should always do it anyway, because the more beauty that you build in your kid, the more like they have to offer. Interesting. There's a patch of granite in this rock. It's not everywhere. And I want to know about granite. Let's learn about granite, because not all these rocks are granite. Can you see the lighthouses? The lighthouses are over there. All right, here we go, baby. So this is shifted.
Do you see the lights?
So they shifted the shipping lanes. So these are the shipping lanes. So there's a certain path that all the ships go on. Oh, look at that. That's cool. I like that a lot. Look at all that. That's really fun. Yeah, lots of fun stuff. Oh, that's anemones.
No, look.
Yeah.
Dory and Nemo.
Yeah,
Dory.
Yeah, they live in anemones.
Nemo and Dory.
Oh, they have Dory and Nemo?
Yeah. Oh, and then Dory's.
And that's another
Nemo's
clownfish.
father. Nemo's father.
Yeah. I don't see Dory.
Dory was here.
Because the purple one's not really Dory.
Right there, blue. That's blue.
Oh, I see. Yeah, look at that. Margaret to the aquarium in Beijing when she was just like 2. And, you know, it was huge, like way bigger than this one. And they had so many, like whatever it was, like inundated with jellyfish. Like so many. And that's what China is. Like you often go to these things that are just like so much, way bigger. But you know, I kind of like going to a smaller one that has just what you want. And it's interesting too, like that, you know, crocheted
Mommy, you know the snail shells? They're on the walls. They're
anemones,
stuck to the walls, Mama.
different kinds of coral, cauliflower coral, Duncan coral, Lots of different kind of coral. The different kinds of...
You can use the goggle.
I used to see these all the time in our lake. They're really funny because they've got these... Look at these ones, bufflehead. Different kinds of water, like ducks and stuff. This terns, I don't even know what they are, but they are a seabird. And if you press this thing, you can hear what they sound like. This is nice. They're teaching how to not have trash in the ocean. So that's a nice thing. Not only do they teach you about the ocean, they also teach you how to preserve it. So it's really nice so for kids to understand that we can't do that. Keep it out of the ocean and the landfill. So this is how long things will last in the landfill. So, you know, we don't really want to get disposable diapers if we can avoid them. 450 years, if then.
Invented them.
You do? Just to know that the milk carton actually breaks down over 5 years, but the plastic, okay, it's mostly, but it is plastic coated, so it does break down.
You can take over. It's all yours.
Oh, this is super fun. You can make your own little chute.
Yeah, pull hard. They are very sticky. What's my son?
So apparently the whale ends up with a ton of plastic. Okay, this is my favorite aquarium that I have ever been to, including the Boston Aquarium. I think that one is just way too big, just like the Chinese one. Everything in this box washed up inside this park in 2019. So you can see that it's a big problem. She made her own little chute. Got stuck? So engineering is so fun, and you can only do it at science museums.
As the earth rotates, these so-called tidal forces cause water and synthesis structure.
See the cat shark here.
The escargot are snail, right?
Yes.
Snail that you eat.
Margaret, we want to hold the starfish?
Yeah, if you want to touch your phone, we just ask that you rinse your water. Rinse your hands real quick. Yeah. So if you want to hold it, you put out both your hands nice and flat. Oh, sure. There you go.
Uh-huh. It doesn't bite.
No, they won't bite. They do have a mouth on the end.
So they have this little thing to learn about seals, and you put together the seal. So then maybe you would remember what kind of seal you would be looking at, but you probably wouldn't if you didn't do this activity. And that's kind of nice. They thought of a lot of ways to make things more interesting. And all of this, so this is all stuff from the past. Really quite interesting. This is the Odion family's place. So I guess this was donated maybe by the Odion family. First point of passport compass rose.
That's a tiny cone.
And that's what
Mama, that's
this
a
is.
tiny cone. Very tiny.
Yeah, look at that. So this is all stuff from the
Next
past.
to the barrage, that's a cone.
Look at these glasses, huh? Look at that. There's I think his name is, this is a juvenile humpback whale. All right, well that is it. And what do you think, Margaret? Did you like that? Yeah, I think it's really worth going to see. And you can check out the ocean. Now we're gonna go, I think, visit our favorite beach. Do you wanna go to our favorite beach, Janess? Or do you wanna go try a different one?